I wonder if she has. What if somebody else gets that? Does that matter? You're not distracted from someone's learning, are you?
What's today lesson?
What is it titled?
Writing.
Putting on the final touches. There you go.
We're going to do the final copy. Writer's workshop. Writer's workshop.
Not today.
Putting the final. Okay.
A learning fort.
Seven, five, four, three, two, one.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, if you think that's what I'm going to leave the goal at, you're out of your mind.
Why?
Like that, if you think that's okay, our goal is not 50%, it's 100%. I was trying to find some way to celebrate the small amount of work that we were doing. So if you think staying at 10 out of 23 every day is going to result in maintaining our goal, no, our goal is 100%. So you would be mistaken. And if that's the way you're thinking about things, then again, I would encourage you to honor and respect people around you that are wanting to learn. And I want you to want to listen and learn from these items. What's that?
23.
What's that? Okay, this is the last official mini lesson. Thursday and Friday you will be publishing your piece. So I'm going to be talking about different things today and giving you some different ideas. But for the moment I'm showing...
I have a question.
Does it have to be answered right now, or can I answer it in a little bit?
Right now, that. How many days is left? This one or more?
Left of what?
Of writing. Like
See, I just said that, and I think you were so listening to your question in your head that you didn't hear what I said.
Thursday, Friday.
See, questions. When we lock on those questions, we stop listening. So sometimes it might be a good idea just to write it down. And you do all have paper in front of you. So pictures, tools. Why? Talk to someone sitting next to you. Talk to your partner. Why am I showing you a picture of tools?
When a person it's done, it's fully equipped, but it is a tool. Right. For example, this. Yeah. It's we're going to use writing tools to check, finish, clear, and write that's left. Let's make the final cut. The left.
All right, 3. 2, did you say checklist 2? 1. 0. As writers, we have tools that we can use to put on the final touches to polish our writing even more. And those tools, as young Gabriel was saying, are our checklists, our mentor stories, the Big Sister one that I gave out, And I'm going to give out another one, this editing checklist as well. So we want to make sure that our drafts are ready to be published by doing more revision. And that revision, how that process is that I take one lens. And what I mean by lens, a lens is on glasses. Okay, so glasses in English are made of lenses. Okay, and so what we say a lot in education is we look through different lenses depending on what we're doing. So, for example, I may look through my paper with an editing lens. Okay, using these questions to help drive my revisions. Okay, just make sure I've answered yes to all of these things. So that might be one thing that I do. Another thing that I might do is take the checklist that everyone has, and I printed out an extra copy for Cristobal, so now Cristobal has as well. So everybody has one of these things. Okay? We have focused some, just save it for later. We have focused somewhat on elaboration and craft. We haven't done a lot of focusing on structure on this first page. So this might be a good area. So what I might do is, it says lead. And it says I wrote a beginning in which I not only showed what was happening and where, so I showed where and what was happening and where, but also gave some clues to what would later become a problem. So I'm showing when and where, and I'm giving some clues to a problem. So if I look back at my first paragraph, my lead, it says, as the final whistle blew, ending our final regular season soccer game, my friends were running and jumping all around. Hair and sweat and grass were flipping and flying everywhere. Smiles, enormous smiles, were on all the faces around me. So I've described where I am. I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good that I have said, I've showed what was happening and where. Now the next one, but I also gave some clues as to what might happen. I said, little did I know that this day was going to get much, much worse. So that's my clue that things aren't going to be all happy, that I have a problem coming. So I've definitely done that. I don't need to really work on my lead anymore. If this is my last day and I have so much other work to do, the lead might not be something I can be like, check, I feel pretty good about this. I feel like I am meeting 5th grade standards. These are the expectations of 5th grade writers on this checklist. This is what you are expected to do in your narrative writings, in all of your narrative writings. And that's why this is an important piece of information. A quick historical thing about checklists, because I know we have some history buffs in here. I'll try and make this very, very brief. There was a plane after World War I. It was supposed to be the best plane ever. They went to the big place to where they were selling all the planes, and the plane took off, had the best pilot in the world in it, and moments later it crashed and burned. And they're like, what? That's so crazy. This is the best plane we've ever made. What happened? So they were like, no, we believe in this. So a month later, they did the same thing. Brought the plane in again, best pilot in the world, got in the plane, took it off, and then crashed. They're like, what is going on? What's happening? So the pilots really believed in the plane. They truly believed in it. Like they know that this is a great plane. So there has to be something wrong. There has to be something that's off. Like, what is going on? Well, what they found out was there was so much stuff that they had to remember in order to fly the plane, like to get it ready, that they couldn't think about actually flying the plane. It's called cognitive load. We've talked about this a little bit. Your brain can only do so much at one time. So what they did is they invented checklists. So this is where the term checklist comes from. It was for pilots. So they had this checklist of all the different steps that they were supposed to do in order to make sure the plane was ready to fly. And so once they developed the checklist, now the plane can fly because the pilot doesn't have to be worrying about all this stuff. So use these checklists. They're a tool. They help you to understand exactly what the work should look like and what you should be doing. And again, so I'm good with lead. Transitions, did I do my meanwhile at the same time, early that morning, 3 hours later? I said about 30 minutes later. That's not very advanced. No transitions. Okay, so transitions is something I definitely need to work on today. So I know specifically what I can do to make my paper better, or my draft better, is I'm going to work on transitions. Once I get done with transitions, it looks about the ending. I talked about the ending yesterday, so I feel pretty good about that. I wrote my powerful ending. I can re-look at that and make sure that that's good. Organizations, I use paragraphs. if you write and it's just one big long thing with no indentations, you are not writing with paragraphs. Okay, so I'm going to put up a little poster here in a little bit about when you should be starting a paragraph if you do not know. Okay? All right, so again, we use the tools that we have to do even more revising. Other tools that we have are this, are techniques to raise our narrative writing. These 12 pieces of paper, these 12 strategies, these 12 things that we have talked about that you should be trying and experimenting with in your writing at all times. Okay? So you have a lot of things to pull on, a lot of things to think about. Okay? One thing that you can do, I'm going to end it right here, in your writing notebook. That's a great place to practice. So if you want to work on your lead, you can write 4 different leads in your writing notebook. And then circle the best one, and so you know to use that. So that's a way, is if you want to use your notebook, that would be a solid way to do that, practicing some stuff, if you're not wanting to cloud up your draft. Okay? All right, so again, today is the last day for revisions. On Thursday you will publish, and on Friday you will publish. Wednesday we don't have writing. Okay.
And on Monday, the celebration.
We'll probably it'll probably be half the class on Friday, you'll get to type it up. So you'll have to publish it all Thursday and then half Friday, and then we'll celebrate.
But we're going to publish it in a computer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And where?
Just on Google Docs, and then we're going to make a book. I told you this, a book for every classroom. So 4 of our stories will be in one book, and here mixed with stories from 5A, B, C, E, and F. And then our stories will be, and then that book will be part of our library, where people can read it for eternity, or until the papers disappears.
So
You are publishing for us and all 5th graders that will ever be in the Columbus School. from here
our
on.
book is going to be in the library.
In our classroom, so 5D, there will be a 5D book of not all the stories, but 4 stories from here, 4 from 5C, 4 from 5B, 4 from 5A, 4 from 5A.
Some people aren't going to feel sad if their story doesn't appear in the book.
All stories are going to appear in the book. So yours might be in 5A, yours might be in 5B, 5C, 5D, 5E, or 5F.
Oh, now I understand.
Okay? It's not just one book, it's 6
I have a
books.
question.
Yes?
After we present the books or stories, we are going to do it in Google Docs.
That's where you're going to publish.
Okay.
Yes?
What about what Gabriel said? Yeah, like people can be sad. Personally, I would be sad if my book, my story wasn't in the one of the class.
Okay, well, if I have people who don't mind being in other class, we'll do that. I'll ask you where you mind. And if there's all of us want to be in 5D, then I have to do it random. Or if half of us, then that increases your chances. Okay, so I will ask before we make a decision. Yes, Salvador? We desperately need to get to work because we only got 30 minutes because Carlitos is going to come in at noon to do religion.
So we
Okay?
don't need to bother about studying.
In the drum now.
In today, not necessarily.
No. See, we're doing it on the computer.
You still need to know how to spell stuff because there's a lot of words in English that are spelled differently and sound the same.
We have religion now, so
You have it at noon. He needed to do it earlier. Yes, that's
I
earlier.
have to like,
All
not
right.
about today.
Okay, so here are the editing checklists. They're right here. There are questions to ask yourself as you go through. I will leave them right here on my desk. Donkey shorts, let's get to work.
Is this like